Hi everyone, I'm Kirsten from the University of Lethbridge Art Gallery. On today's Art Lab from home, we're going to play with see-through papers using vellum to make gorgeous drawings. I hope you enjoy. So the material we're focusing on today is called vellum. It's a type of paper that's a little bit see-through. If you don't have vellum, you could also use gift wrap tissue papers from home or grab some tracing paper from the dollar store. You're also going to need some markers or maybe charcoal or pencil crayons. Anything can work really great on these see-through paper materials. So when we start to make our artwork with transparent papers, we want to think about a base layer and a top layer. I'm just going to work with 2 layers today, but you could certainly do 3 or 4. It just depends what you want to do. So for my base layer, I'm going to think about large swatches of colors. I think I'm going to do a koi pond drawing. I was inspired by the last video I did for you guys with the koi pond chalk art. So we're going to keep with the koi pond theme, I think. So with the back layer, you don't have to get too much detail. Just think about bright colors, bold lines and shapes, because you want to be able to see it through the second layer. Alright, that is my first layer. Now we're going to fold down my vellum and you can kind of see it through. See, the colors are a little more muted, a little duller. And now we can add stuff to our second layer. So you could add lines that accentuate the things that are in the base layer if you wanted. Like a little fishy. Or you could add things that kind of go over top and block out the images you did on your first layer. Like a big lily pad, kind of blocking out some of these ripply waves in the water. Let's give this lily pad a pretty lotus flower. There we have our second layer. First layer, and when you squish them together, you get an artwork. Alright, now let's do one with tissue paper. Let's say you don't have vellum or tracing paper at home, but you have some gift wrap tissue paper. See, I recycled mine from an old gift. It's a little wrinkly, but that's alright. So I think I'm going to draw a buzzy little bee. Permanent marker works really great on gift wrap tissue paper. You can experiment with washable markers if you want, but I personally like the permanent marker look. And I'm just coloring in my little buzzy bee. Perfect. And then I'm going to add a background that I did earlier on a blank white sheet of paper, and it's the honeycomb. So you see how it overlaps, and you could cut him out and place a couple of them. I really like playing with transparent drawings because it just gives it so much dimension to the work. So that's an example of what you could do with tissue paper. If you had, let's say, some blue tissue paper, you could also lay them in between layers of your other drawings, such as the koi pond one. Sometimes they're hard to see without light, so I'm going to hold these up at a window and then we can really see what they look like. Before I hold those ones up to a window, I want to show you a couple other examples I did. So this one is with charcoal. I used charcoal to do the forest scene and then a fine black marker to do the deer. And when I put the second layer on top, which is just a little bit of detail on the trees, you get this really cool kind of transparent ghost-like images showing through. Another example I did was on a piece of paper. I drew a portrait, and then I drew a finer portrait that can sit over top. And see how it gives the character a little bit more dimension and shadows. I thought these were really successful, and they're so much fun to do. Alright, so let's hold one that we've done up to the window. See when I push the layers flat how all of the markings on each layer really shows through easily. We could even add some blue tissue paper in behind to give the whole koi pond a bluish tint. And let's look at the deer one that we did too. You see, the top layer isn't much to look at, but when you squish them down together, this whole little world gets revealed. These are great to tape to a window, to display them or decorate your space with, and I hope you had lots of fun. I hope you all had fun. Make sure to check back on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel for more Art Lab from Home videos. Bye!